Good morning, good afternoon, welcome in, divine feminines, divine masculines, whoever's coming to this channel, welcome in. My name is Shannon, this is Cosmic Goddess Healing, and today I felt drawn to do an inner child reading. I know a lot of us out there are on this intense healing journey, the divine feminine, divine masculine journey. And as we all know, that journey involves a lot of inner child work. That's definitely the work I've been doing in the past, I'd say 6 months, pretty intense inner child work. So the deck that I'm going to be using today for this is called the Inner Child Oracle. And then I'm going to pair that up with the Psychic Tarot for the Heart. I like this deck for doing relationship readings, and I don't mean romantic. It can be used for that, but I mean with yourself, the relationship that you have with yourself. So let's get into it. Let's see. Spirit, can you tell me please, for the divine feminines and divine masculines that are currently watching this right now, what do they need to know? What are you trying to help them with? What is the energy that you are trying to convey today? Excuse me while I pick up a card from the floor. Okay, so first card out, breathe in, practice breath work today. Very pretty card. I don't know, this card feels very magical to me, with the starry sky and the beautiful nature landscape. The next one is 25. Listen, your inner child has something to say. How interesting. I felt that this morning to do this reading. Connect to eternity within. Let yourself be held by love. Wow. You know, and the first thing, I don't know why I want to speak about this card first. The first thing that came to me with this card, and I'm going to relate it to my own journey because that's all I can do, is this is about self-love and being held by love. I used to be confused that meant I had to find a partner. I had to be loved by others. I had to be validated by others to feel loved, to feel held. And the beautiful part about this journey is that I learned that I can give myself that love. And even the love that I was seeking from my twin flame partner, and all the pain that our connection has created, it's beautiful, chaotic pain, because that pain has actually taught me how to go within and how to, I don't know, channel all of that pain and that longing for that twin flame love into myself. And what I mean by that, because I also felt this morning like maybe some people out there don't understand what that means when readers or channelers like myself and others tell you to stay centered in the twin flame journey, or in any romantic connection that's struggling or that's triggering growth within you. We say that, pour that back into yourself. And to give you an example of what that meant for me on my journey was, the more my twin flame pulled away, instead of chasing, instead of trying to fix it, instead of trying to convince him that I'm the right person for him, I started taking that pain and that energy, and I dove into spiritual shamanic journeying with a place called Crystal Roots here in Ontario. I started working with a therapist. I have a psychedelic coach that I work with. I have a spiritual coach that I work with. I work with my Reiki master on a consistent basis, and I just started diving deeper into those practices. I started diving deeper into what is broken within me that is seeking this outside love and this outside validation. Why am I not able to give that to myself? And that was the inner child work that I've had to do along the way, of feeling abandoned, feeling not chosen, feeling like I'm not seen, I'm not heard, feeling like I'm not good enough, like I'm not worthy enough because of my childhood and unfortunately the household I was raised in. But all of the painful things that I've gone through and the challenges I've gone through have brought me to this place of complete self-love. I no longer need to chase men to feel validated or to feel loved. Um, I no longer need to chase jobs, even, because that was part of it. I was chasing careers or promotions because I thought that that meant I was valuable. And every time I didn't get one of those promotions, it would send me into this absolute spiral like, see, Shannon, you're not good enough. See, Shannon, you never get chosen. And I would use that as a way to validate the negative stories. And like, how fucked up is that? Like, I'm only hurting myself by doing that. But I realized, thank God. And I realized that I didn't get those promotions because those weren't the right fit for me, but I couldn't see it because I was still equating my value to material things, to outside things. I wasn't equating my value to what's in here, who I am as a woman, who I am as a person, what my heart is like, how I treat people, the energy I put into the world. I thought my value came from the car I drove, the house I had, the money in the bank, the career I had, the titles I could say I earned, my accomplishments. That's what I used to think value came from. And that is so completely wrong. That is not where your value comes from. Value comes from in here. How you are in the world, how you are as a person, how you treat others. Are you giving back to the world? Or are you taking? And that's a hard thing to look at. And if you can sit down and ask yourself that honestly, do you give back to the world or are you taking? Are you a materialistic person who's just so obsessed with buying, buying, buying because having all this shit makes you a better person or makes you somebody important? That's a lie. That's not true at all. And listen, the inner child has something to say. I feel like this kind of goes in with breathe in. Breath work is something that I have done along my journey. I think breath work is really important. I've done breath work many times. It has definitely brought out the childhood wounds and the emotions that I stuffed, because along the way, through the shamanic journeying, I realized that I was a stuffer of my feelings. I learned as a child, don't express yourself. Nobody wants to hear you. Nobody cares what you have to say. Your emotions aren't valid. Stop crying. That's what I heard. Stop crying, Shannon. Smarten up, toughen up, and unfortunately, what that taught me to do was to swallow my feelings. And it's funny, when I was in one of my shamanic journeys, I kept fighting the process. I really wanted to purge, and I could feel all of these emotions bubbling up to the surface, and I kept swallowing. I kept swallowing it down. And my physical body became so stressed out, and I started getting a massive headache. My body temperature rose. The physical symptoms I was feeling, because I was trying to be shown, this is what you've done to yourself. You've stuffed your feelings your whole life. And the feelings being stuffed are actually creating physical ailments. You could be getting sick physically. And I don't want to put bad things out in the universe, so I'm not going to list off things. But for me, I was getting migraines at least 2 to 3 times a week. I was lethargic all the time. I had no energy. I was physically feeling ill, mentally feeling ill, and I had no idea it was because I was hanging on to all this shit from my childhood that I wasn't releasing. And when I finally allowed myself to release those emotions and purge, oh my God, it felt like a weight was lifted off of me. It felt like a tremendous weight for years that I'd been carrying around was gone. And for anybody watching right now, maybe you need to hear this too, and maybe you need to get involved in some type of breathwork practice, because I think your inner child is trying to speak to you. And how you'll know that is you're acting out in ways that you don't want to and you don't really understand. Maybe you are texting that twin flame and you're like, oh, for God's sakes, why did I just do that? Why did I do that? I know they're not going to answer me right now. Why did I just put myself through that? Maybe you're reacting to somebody who's done something negative to you, and your instant is a reaction because your inner child just got triggered. Maybe like me, you didn't get that job promotion and you have to watch somebody else take that promotion that you really wanted and you react. These are all signs that your inner child is screaming out to you, we need help. We need to heal, and we need to focus on ourselves. And if you're feeling any of these symptoms, or if you are not able to center yourself, if you're in that twin flame journey, and you find yourself constantly reaching out to this person, obsessing a lot, that's your inner child saying, babe, we got to do a bit of work. We really got to do a bit of work on ourselves. Because today I don't reach out to my twin flame. I did once, in a moment of weakness, a month ago. And that was my inner child calling to me saying, Shannon, we have a little bit more work to do. And I'd fooled myself thinking, I did the work. I've gone to these shamanic journeyings. I've done these healing spiritual weekends. We're good. But that moment showed me, no, we're not. And clearly you're still feeling triggered by the rejection of that twin flame. And we have a little bit more work to do. So that moment, I felt incredible shame. I felt incredible embarrassment for myself, because I'm stronger than that. I'm better than that. I've done a lot of work. I don't need his validation anymore. I love him. I love him with all my heart. But I've let go now. I've surrendered. And if this connection is meant to come back in, which I believe that it will one day, there's nothing I need to do, and I don't need to force it, and I don't need to chase, and I don't need to make it happen. All I need to do is breathe, and surrender. And this is what I focus on doing every day, is I'm listening to my inner child, and when she acts out, I know that she's trying to tell me we have to do a bit of work, and I listen to her, and I want to help her. So I'm going to get into the Psychic Tarot deck, because I just want to know if there's kind of any more details for the people that are watching that I didn't touch on, that I didn't talk about already, that Spirit wants us to know. Spirit, for the people that are watching right now, can you please help us understand if there is any more details on their inner child healing journey that they need to be aware of, or that can help them, something maybe they're not seeing that can help them on this journey. Okay, so yeah, oh my God, guys, listen, holy crap, listen. I think your inner child is really screaming to you and you're not listening. I don't think you're listening. Maybe the person that's watching this right now, you're not listening to that inner child. And if you would, and you would just do a little bit of that work, I'm telling you, I'm proof. I'm living proof that there is happiness at the end of that. There is empowerment at the end of that. I am in my freaking divine empress era. I am a freaking divine empress. I know that. I acknowledge that. It's who I am today, because I'm not afraid to do the work. Next card out is Embrace, and this is the World card. So this is like completion. The World card is about completion, and maybe you need to, this is about embracing that journey too. Like maybe some of you are afraid. Maybe some of you are letting fear stop you, because I did. The thought of going back to my childhood and having to look at that was freaking terrifying. I was very terrified at the prospect of having to revisit my childhood, because in all honesty, I think I was sexually abused, but I blocked it out. And the reason I say that is because certain behaviors I had at a very young age, I shouldn't have had. I shouldn't have known sexual behaviors or how to do certain things at such a very young age. And I'm talking like junior kindergarten, senior kindergarten, grade 1, grade 2. A child at that age shouldn't understand or know sexual things, and I did. I don't remember who, I don't know how or when, or I don't know all of that. And that was a big reason why I was afraid to dive into the childhood, because I was afraid to reopen that. But you need to, like, you have to fight that fear and face it, because it's done, it's over. You can just look at it without any judgment, without any, you don't have to get all wrapped up in the feelings of it again, but you have to look at it so you can forgive and let go. And maybe that's, this card is telling you to just embrace the journey. Don't be afraid. Look how open he is. His heart is open, and God has you. Your spirit team has you. Embrace this journey, because I'm telling you, there's beautiful things at the end of this if you can. Okay, guys, this is crazy. The Just Breathe card, and you got the Breathe In card for the inner child. Yeah, I think breath work, I really feel this is screaming out to you to get involved in breath work. I think breath work is going to be that first step for you to what's the word I'm looking for? To like stir up the energy. I've learned along the way, you've got to stir up the energy within your body by being uncomfortable. Like when I go to Crystal Roots, we fast for the weekend. We eat breakfast and that's it. We're putting our body through stress because we need to shake up the energy within us, because we need to bring it to the surface. And that energy is like so caked inside of our bodies. It's like glued to the inside of our bodies, and the only way to get it unglued is to cause discomfort, to almost put your body through a little bit of physical stress, which shakes up that energy and releases it from being stuck inside your body, so that it can come out and you can purge it and you can move on from it. And yeah, the Rest and Reconsider card, truthfully, I think this is just, maybe it's time for you, and maybe you're already in this, but this card reminds me of isolation. It kind of reminds me of the Hermit card. And maybe this is the Hermit card. I never, actually, no, it's not. Sorry, it's not. But this card does give me Hermit vibes, and maybe this card is telling you, or your inner child is telling you, that it's time to isolate a little bit. It's time to stop looking outside of yourself for that validation, for that love. And it's time to rest and meditate and go within to find the love that you can give yourself. I can tell you it's a hard journey, guys. It is. It's not an easy journey. This, this spiritual journey, this divine feminine, divine masculine journey. But I can tell you the rewards are worth it. And I'm in a place in my life now where I can feel the rewards are like right at the horizon. I can feel those rewards are like, I can almost touch them. And when they come, I'm going to post about it, because I want you to have hope. I want you to see that when you do the work, the rewards do come. So I hope this message finds the right person. I love you guys. I'm here for you. If you have any questions about anything I've said, or you're struggling with something, I always read the comments. I mean, my channel is so new. It's not like I have a million comments to go through anyways. But I want to help. This is why I'm doing this. So please feel free to comment or ask your questions. I think I've shown that I'm going to be pretty transparent and pretty vulnerable with you guys and letting you into my life, which is a pretty big deal, because I don't let people in. So this has been a part of my healing, though, allowing myself to be seen fully, right? Oh my God, wow, that was just a friggin' epiphany for me right now. This is me allowing myself to finally allow myself to be seen. Holy shit. I didn't even recognize that until right this second as I just said it. I've not wanted myself to be seen. I've stayed in the shadows. I have been in isolation for 7 years. You know, I do have a small group of friends, but I've not been in romantic relationships other than the twin flame thing. But I mean, that was so short-lived. He came back into my life last November, and it has just been an off and on thing, mostly off for the past year. So I can't even call that a relationship. So yeah, I've been in that isolation period, and it just dawned on me that this is God's way of helping me be seen and empowering myself by doing it through a channel. So I don't want to ramble anymore. I love you guys. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Have a great day.